power equipment, yeah. We know what happened last week, but thankfully everything survived and Becky's ready to go. Check it out, turn4photos.com. Set to go, first and only heat for the Doneth Motorworks Limited Sportsman. Jason Rarick on the pole in the 4, along with the 21 of Hayden Howard. Row 2, it's Cayden Graham, 31, along with the 6 of Mike Durham. Row 3, Brianna Murtaugh, the 33, with the 44, Mason Rogers, and Joseph Fargo in the 401K completed. 7 cars ready to go. 6 laps will be the distance. First and only heat tonight for the Doneth Motorworks Limited Sportsman. Stephen Bushy, last week's winner, not here with us tonight, so a good chance for some other drivers to sneak into victory lane. Cayden Graham has been close on occasions this year. Mike Durham, Mason Rogers, they have feature wins here this season. Mason Rogers looking for his 4th of the season. Picked up a win last Saturday night at the Fulton Speedway. His 5th overall win this year. Also got a win at Utica Rome earlier this year. But they're all in the hands of Mike Leclerc as they work off of turn number 3 and 4. Green lights are on and we're underway. And Hayden Howard, who ran strong here a couple of weeks ago, jumps out into that race lead. Cayden Graham in the 31. That car did not sound very healthy when he came down the front straightaway. Now he picks it back up down the backstretch. In the meantime, no, Hayden Howard starting to stretch that lead out as Mike Durham, Mason Rogers try to keep pace as they click off lap number 1. 1 lap is complete. And right now, Hayden Howard has been the class of the field. Mike Durham and Mason Rogers not letting him go away. It's a 3-car breakaway at the front. Jason Rarick still back there in the 4 spot. Brianna Murtaugh giving chase from the 5 position as they hustle down the front straightaway. Rogers taking a look to the inside of Mike Durham down the front straightaway as they work on lap number 2. 6 laps, once again, is the distance as they head down the back straightaway one more time. Again, top 3 breaking away from the rest of the field as Brianna Murtaugh takes the number 4 spot away from Jason Rarick down the back chute. In the meantime, top 3 setting sail underneath the start-finish line. It is Hayden Howard in control, but Mike Durham and Mason Rogers are going to make him earn it. As they go to turn number 1 and 2, Durham gets a little quicker run through turn number 1 and 2 that time. Closes to within a car length of Hayden Howard down the back straightaway. Rogers still comfortable in 3rd. Brianna Murtaugh has broken away from the field. She's up to 4th. Cayden Graham has picked the pace up now. He's closing in on Jason Rarick for the 5 position as they work a lap number 4 with 2 laps left to go. It's a 3-car battle for the lead as Hayden Howard, Mike Durham, and Mason Rogers dicing it up for the lead down the back straightaway. Durham pulls right to the back bumper of Howard as they go to turn number 3 and 4. Howard on the inside, Durham on the outside lane. Mason Rogers looking for room to go. White flag is in the air for Hayden Howard. Final time through turn number 1 and 2. Hayden Howard was close to getting a win here a couple of weeks ago. Working it down the back straightaway with the lead here. Mike Durham, Mason Rogers. What will they do with them as they head down into turn number 3 and 4? Checkered in the air, and Hayden Howard will collect the win. Battle on for the 2 spot. Durham on the inside lane. Mason Rogers on the high lane. It's going to go to Mike. No, Mason Rogers gets it by inches over Mike Durham at the checkered flank, and that was just for 2nd. But Hayden Howard will get the victory in the one and only heat for the Doneth Motorworks Limited Sportsman. Panther Frameworx crate sprint cars ready to go next. First of 2 heats on the day. 8 laps will be the scheduled distance. And the margin between 2nd and 3rd place at the finish there, 5 1/1000ths of a second going to Mason Rogers. Thankfully, it was just for 2nd place in a heat race as we're set to go first of 2 heats. Panther Frameworx crate sprint cars. Again, if you're looking for 50/50 tickets, they are on sale and going around the grandstands right now. Peyton, Haley, and Zoe got those working through the grandstands tonight, so wave them down if you see them. It only costs $1. Of course, there is a consolation prize tonight. If you don't win the money, there is a second chance to win 2 general admission passes to next week's racing program right here at Can-Am. So get your tickets now, get them in a hurry, and buy as many as you want. trying to get that jackpot up there as high as we can. So it'll be Emma Donath on the pole in the number 4, along with Anthony Fiorentino. Row 2, it's Mike Amell and Adam Turner. Row 3, Josh Vanbrocklin and the 271 of Tiger Chapman. It's Rachel Zacharias in the 71, 89 and Chris Nethers, Josh Verne Jr. and Marc Surprenant complete the field. Green lights are on, and we're off and running. Again, 8 laps is the scheduled distance, a lot longer distance than these drivers are used to all season. And right now, Emma Donath with the lead as they go to turn number 3 and 4. Anthony Fiorentino on the bottom. Watch Adam Turner go around the outside of the racetrack, trying to clear 2 cars at once. Gets around Mike Amell and then goes after Rachel Zacharias into turn number 1 and 2. And Turner still picking up spots as he works the high lane. And Adam Turner on the move to the top 3. Closing in on Rachel Zacharias for the 3 spot. In the meantime, we got a battle shaping up for the race lead. Emma Donath has the spot, but Anthony Fiorentino is going to drive right around the outside lane, and he'll grab the lead as they click off lap number 2. It's Fiorentino to the point, but Emma Donath fighting right back on that inside lane. Behind them, Adam Turner and Rachel Zacharias dicing it up for position number 3 and 4. Josh Vanbrocklin continues to round out the top 5, but we got a good 4-car battle for position as they cross the line for lap number 3. The top 2 breaking away from the rest of the field. I'll tell you what, Rachel Zacharias and Adam Turner having a war here for the number 3 position. Turner on the extreme outside lane. Rachel Zacharias down low. Zacharias has the spot for the moment. Turner trying to take it back. Josh Vanbrocklin watches from the 5 spot as they work in lap number 4 in the same lap heat event. Right now, it is Anthony Fiorentino in control. Emma Donath still second. Battle still on for third between Zacharias and Turner as they go back and forth for third. As Turner has it again. Rachel Zacharias back to fourth. Josh Vanbrocklin and Josh Verne Jr. in that order. Down to the line. 3 to go for Anthony Fiorentino. Former sportsman modified campaigner here, taking a look into the sprint car racing stuff, and he is loving it now. He's got about an 8th car length advantage over the 4 of Emma Donath, as the battle for third is kind of tapered off just a little bit with Adam Turner taking the spot away. Now Josh Vanbrocklin getting into the mix, and Vanbrocklin goes around in corner number 4, keeps his foot in the throttle, and we are going to go yellow. Yellow lights are on with 6 laps complete. And yellow lights are on with 6 laps complete. So even though Josh Vanbrocklin was able to get the cars spun back around and going again, there were cars coming straight at him, and we didn't want anything bad to happen there. So that was the reason for the caution flag. Been a great battle up at the front of the field for the race lead, and that battle for third between Adam Turner and Rachel Zacharias. They've been back and forth this entire race. White flag is displayed. We got 2 more laps left to go. It's Anthony Fiorentino. He'll go from the bottom lane on this restart. Emma Donath to his outside. Adam Turner third. Rachel Zacharias fourth. Josh Verne Jr. completes the top 5. Then it's Mike Amell, Chris Nethers, Marc Surprenant, and Josh Vanbrocklin in that order. So, set to do it all over again. First of 2 heats in the Panther Frameworx Crate Sprints. Again, 8 laps is the distance for their heat races tonight and going forward for the rest of the year. As they work at turn number 3 and 4, Leclerc looks them over. Fiorentino's on the hammer. Green lights back on and we're underway. And Anthony Fiorentino, great restart. But here comes a look at Rachel Zacharias go from third to first. Rachel Zacharias on the charge on the high lane. She'll grab the lead as the white flag is in the air. Final trip around the Am Speedway for Rachel Zacharias, looking for her first heat win of the season. Down to the line, white flag in the air. Anthony Fiorentino now second. Josh Verne Jr. up into third. Josh was back about 6th spot earlier. Oh, and Zacharias dusts up the back straightaway. Had such a big lead out there, she was able to pull back on and keep the top spot. Checkered flag is in the air. Fiorentino giving chase, not going to happen. It's Rachel Zacharias to victory lane. Anthony Fiorentino, Josh Verne Jr., Adam Turner, and Josh Vanbrocklin comes from the back to finish 5th in heat race number 1. What a battle that was, and what a move by Rachel Zacharias to go from 3rd to 1st. So heat race number 1 is now complete. Heat race number 2 ready to roll trackside. We'll give it the starting lineup in just a moment. So heat 2 for the Panther Frameworx Crate Sprints lineup looks like this. It's Eric Laurendeau on the pole in the 21L with Will Fisher alongside the 74. Row 2, Kody Graham in the 24 along with George Sanford in the number 25. Row 3, Tucker Donath, the Z28 with the 557 of Patrick Nolan. Row 4, it's Mark Webb, 36 along with the 87. Last week's winner, Andrew Hennessy. Ken Klinkowsky in car number 30 will complete the rest of your field. 9 drivers ready to go. 8 laps is the distance. Second and final heat at Panther Frameworx Crate Sprints. Whitesboro Plow Shop DIRTcar 358 Modified's up next. I tell you, the guy in the Lucas Wolf t-shirt down here is awesome. Yes, that's you. So white flag being displayed, will go green next time by. Those of you just getting into the racetrack tonight, we welcome you here to Can-Am. Timmy Baltz up top side as you're watching heat race number 2. Panther Frameworx Crate Sprint Cars. Whitesboro Plow Shop, DIRTcar 358 Modifieds line up and ready to go for their first heat event on the night of 2. Eric Laurendeau and Will Fisher on the front row. Will Fisher spent a lot of time racing the 305 sprint car, the CRSA series, which will be here later this year, along with our crate sprints. Right now he's trying to outrun Eric Laurendeau to turn number 1 off the start. Set for green, Leclerc looks him over off of corner number 4. Green lights are on and we're underway. And Will Fisher jumps out into the race lead. George Sanford, to talk to him tonight in the pit area. He says he wants to win badly out there tonight, and he's going to go for it as they hustle down the back straightaway with Sanford in control of the 2-spot battle on for 3rd as we watch Andrew Hennessy roll the top side of the racetrack. And Andrew Hennessy, oh, Mark Webb collects the outside wall in corner number 4, keeps his foot in the throttle, and we stay green. In the meantime, George Sanford has taken over the point. Talked to him earlier tonight, and he said he was going to go for it, and right now he is doing just that. He's got the number 1 spot. Will Fisher back to 2nd. Andrew Hennessy on the charge up into position number 3 as they click off lap number 2. 3-car breakaway right now at the front of the field. Sanford rolling the bottom of the racetrack. Fisher and Hennessy content to run around the top side. Tucker Donovan still back there in the 4th spot, followed by Ken Klinkowsky in 5th. He's making his way from the back of the field now. He started 9th, and he's up into the top 5 just before the halfway point at lap number 3. It's still Sanford in control. 2 wins in 2025, and in a 25-year winless drought, George had not won a feature at Can-Am since he'd won in the IMCA Hobby Stock Division, the old Pure Stock Division here back in 2000. But right now he leads the way as Mark Webb with a problem on the back straightaway in the 36, and he is rolling into a stop over there just before the entrance of turn number 3, and we will go caution. Yellow lights are on with 4 laps complete. Mark Webb in the number 36, Brownville, New York native. We talk about Mark quite often. Of course, he has pretty much competed and won in just about every division he's raced in here at Can-Am. Still looking for that first ever crate sprint car win. Of course, Nick Webb drove this car last week to a top 5 finish. Haven't seen much of Nick this year, as Mark Webb will get the push back to pit road. Unfortunately, I believe him slowing on the back straightaway may have had something to do with that contact in turn number 4. Well, looks like he's going to stay out on the racetrack, so Mark Webb able to continue on, and he'll tag on to the tail end of the field. White flag will be displayed. It's George Sanford on the point. The two-sport phenom going from the pole. Outside will be Will Fisher in the 74. Andrew Hennessy and Tucker Donath in row 2. Ken Klinkowsky, this was the break that Ken needed. He started 9th and made his way all the way up into the top 5. And with a good starting position on the inside lane, he can make up some spots before the finish of this one. So he'll start 5th. Eric Laurendeau outside in row number 3. Row 4, it's Patrick Nolan and Kody Graham, and then Mark Webb completing it. All 9 drivers remaining on the racetrack. 4 down, 4 to go. Second and final heat at Panther Frameworx Crate Sprints. Whitesboro Plow Shop DIRTcar 358 Modified Heat 1 waiting in the wings. Off of turn number 4, we're back to green. And again, George Sanford to the point. We mentioned Ken Klinkowsky, how quick he was going to be, and he picks up a spot on Tucker Donath. So he has moved to 4th. Andrew Hennessy drove back around and to pick 3rd back up as they head into turn number 3 and 4. And Andrew Hennessy on the move. He collects the 2 spot from Will Fisher down the front straightaway as they work at lap number 5. George Sanford continues to show the way, but Andrew Hennessy has made some nifty moves here in the late stages of this one. Got around Will Fisher for 2nd. Now he's going after George Sanford down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. 2 laps left to go for Sanford as they cross the line down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Talked to George earlier tonight, mentioned to me about the injury he sustained to his right thumb, and to have about 6 or 7 stitches put into his right thumb after some sheet metal damage to that, but doesn't look like it's bothering him one bit as he comes down to the line. White flag in the air. Still 2-car length advantage over Andrew Hennessy, last week's feature winner, who holds on to 2nd. That is Will Fisher, Ken Klinkowsky, and Tucker Donath. That's your top 5 as they head down the back straightaway, and Andrew Hennessy is going to make a race out of this one. Here comes Hennessy. Oh, he pulled it to the bottom, but the door was shut when he got there. Andrew tried it. Not going to happen. George Sanford to victory lane in heat race number 2. Andrew Hennessy, Will Fisher, Ken Klinkowsky, and Tucker Donath, your top 5. Now we'll do it. Heat race number 2 is complete. George Sanford, his first heat win of the year. As we are set to go, Whitesboro Plow Shop DIRTcar 358 Modified Competition set to go next. And here is your starting lineup for heat race number 1. It will be Dan Bichard on the pole in the number 36 with Preston Forbes in the 45. Row 2, it's Cameron Black in the 23 of the 57, Remington Ham. Row 3, Josh Verne Jr. the 91 with last week's winner Matt Caprera in the 11. Row 4, defending track champion Billy Dunn in the 49, the 24, Jordan Kelly. Logan Brown pulling double duty tonight. He's out here in car number 11. Field set for green. 8 laps is the distance. First of 2 heats in the Whitesboro Plow Shop DIRTcar 358 Modifieds. Dan Bichard and Preston Forbes on the front row. Green lights are on and we're underway. And a field charging down into corner number 1 and 2. It's Preston Forbes from the high side. He'll grab the lead. Dan Bichard back to 2nd. Remington Ham 3rd. Battle on for the 4 spot. Matt Caprera to the outside lane. Cameron Black down low. Billy Dunn right there in their tire tracks as they cross the line for lap number 1. And Preston Forbes in command. Top 3 pulling away. They're nearly 3 wide for the 4th, 5th, and 6th positions. Billy Dunn on that inside lane trying to find the way by Cameron Black, but Cameron will have no part of it. Drives away from Dunn down the back straightaways. Matt Caprera right there in his tire tracks. Josh Verne and Logan Brown completed as they work it down the front straightaway for lap number 2. Preston Forbes in control. Man out of Potsdam, New York. Feature wins here in 358 Modifieds, Pro Stocks, and DIRTcar Sportsman as well. Pulling away from Dan Bichard right now as they head up into turn number 3 and 4. Down to the line, 3 down, 5 to go for Preston Forbes, looking for his first heat win of 2025 as they make it up make their way up into corner number 1 and 2. Battle is on for third right now between Billy Dunn and Remington Ham. And the defending track champion Dunn will take over the 3 spot. Ham back to 4th. Matt Caprera has made his way up into the top 5 as Billy Dunn continues to work the outside lane, but they're all chasing the 45 of Preston Forbes at the halfway point. 4 down, 4 more to go. Forbes is on cruise control. He is checked out on the rest of the field. The battle is on now for the 2 spot. Dan Bichard has it, but here comes Billy Dunn around the top side of the racetrack. Dunn looking to go to second as they cross the line at lap number 5, and Billy Dunn has it as they cross it down into turn number 1 and 2. But now the question remains, does Billy Dunn have enough time to run down Preston Forbes? We're going to find out as he draws away from Dan Bichard down the back stretch as Matt Caprera trying to move in. Caprera back there in the 4 spot looking for third around the 36 of Bichard as they come down across the line with 2 laps left to go. Preston Forbes has done everything right this heat race, and Billy Dunn doing everything he can to run him down. He's making those straightaways longer out there. He's actually gaining on Preston Forbes as they go to turn number 3 and 4. The white flag is in the air, and Billy Dunn is on the move here in the late stages. White flag in the air, Preston Forbes with the lead, but here comes Billy Dunn. Working that outside lane. He's going to try to diamond the corner off of turn number 2. He's right there to the back bumper of Preston Forbes. Down the back straightaway to turn 3 and 4. Billy Dunn to the high lane. Forbes down on the bottom. Checkered flag will be waving this time by. And Billy Dunn's going to pull it off of corner number 4. At the line, Billy Dunn gets it by inches. Preston Forbes second. Wow, what a finish that was. Scoring pylon says Billy Dunn to victory lane. Margin of victory, 0.012 seconds for Billy Dunn. He takes the win in heat race number 1. Heat race number 2 is going to look like this. Andy Howard on the pole in the 21, along with Scott Webb in the 18. Row 2, Sean the 7S, the 60 of Jackson Gill. Lance Willix inside row 3 in the 31 with Derek Webb, the 66W. Points leader Tim Fuller in the 19, along with Genevieve Bartlett in car number 11. So Billy Dunn wins an exciting heat number 1, heat race number 2. Set to go green, final heat race in the Whitesboro Plow Shop DIRTcar 358 Modifieds. Andy Howard and Scott Webb on the front row. Green lights are on and we're underway. Howard and Webb side by side. Watch for Lance Willix on the bottom of the racetrack. Lance Willix trying to go to second, and he'll do just that as they hustle down the back straightaway. Andy Howard back to third in a battle with Jackson Gill for position number 4 as they work it across the line for lap number 1 of this 8-lap heat event. It's Scott Webb in control. Lance Willix putting the pressure on him, and here comes Willix to the bottom of the racetrack. Scott Webb continues to run around the top side of the speedway as they run 1-2 down the backstretch. Battle on for the 3 spot still as Andy Howard has it. Jackson Gill trying to take it away from the bottom side as they work it across the line. Still wheel to wheel for the lead between Willix and Webb as they go to 1 and 2 right now. Lance Willix going to throw the slider at Scott Webb. He'll pick up the race lead as they hit the back straightaway. As Andy Howard got shuffled out of line, he is way at the back of the field now behind Derek Webb and just in front of Genevieve Bartlett. In the meantime, Willix and Webb continue their battle for position number 1. It's Willix in control right now. Webb now second. Battle on for third between the veteran and the upstart contender. Jackson Gill in the high lane. Tim Fuller down low as they'll race wheel to wheel down the back straightaway. Fuller will have the 3 spot as they get to turn number 3. Gill will try to fight back on the high lane into turn number 3 and 4. Down to the line, 4 down, 4 more to go for Lance Willix. As Fuller collects the 3 spot. Jackson Gill back to 4th, and watch for Sean Shaw moving into the picture. Shaw right there in position number 5. Derek Webb, Andy Howard, and Genevieve Bartlett complete the field as Lance Willix putting it on autopilot. Big weekend for Willix here this weekend. DIRTcar 358 Modified Series round number 3 at his home track at Glen Ridge on Sunday. He'd love to kick it off with a big win here this weekend to have some momentum for that series race on Sunday. And right now, Tim Fuller has got momentum on his side. He crawls to the 2 spot around Scott Webb. As behind them, Sean Shaw in a battle with Jackson Gill for position number 4. And Shaw will have the position as they work it down the front straightaway. Jackson Gill with a problem in turn number 4. He is off the pace. That car was out of shape and violently moved to the right on him down here on the front stretch. Yellow lights are on with 6 laps complete. Not sure what happened to the 60 of Gill. He was all out of shape coming off of turn number 4 and shut it down immediately. So 6 down, 2 to go. Lance Willix is the race leader. Lance one win this season. That came at the Glen Ridge Motorsports Park a few weeks ago. Still looking for that first heat win of the year. Sean Shaw leads everybody in that category with 3. Jordan McCready, Tim Fuller, Billy Dunn each have 2. Well, Billy Dunn actually has 3 now after that win just a few moments ago. Brian Bartlett, Lucas Fuller, Josh Riome, Scott Webb, Remington Ham, and Matt Caprera each have a heat win this year. So we're set for green. 6 laps are down. 2 more to go. Lance Willix has a new dance partner. So they roll through turn number 3 and 4. Mike LeClaire will look the field over. Off the corner, green lights are back on and we're underway. And once again, Willix goes to the point, but Tim Fuller is right there on the back doorstep. He'll try to close quickly down the back chute as behind them, Sean Shaw making a bid for the 3 spot. He'll get around Scott Webb into corner number 3 and 4. White flag will be displayed this time by Willix in command, but here comes the 19 of Fuller down on the bottom as they work it into turn number 1 and 2. Willix with the lead, but here comes Fuller down on the inside. We could have another finish like we had in the previous heat race as they work down the back straightaway. 2-car length separation between Willix and Fuller as they go to turn number 3 and 4. Lance has got the top side working for him. Fuller down on the bottom. Lance Willix is going to go to victory lane in heat race number 2. Tim Fuller, Sean Shaw, Scott Webb, Derek Webb, the top 5, Andy Howard, and Genevieve Bartlett in that order. So that will do it. Heat race number 2 is complete. Whitesboro Plow Shop, DIRTcar 358 Modifieds are in the record books. We'll give you the starting lineup here in just a moment. Caleb Howard in the 90 goes from the pole. Outside will be Taylor Dockstader in the 960. Row 2, Owen Nyer in the 17 with Jessica Power in the 52. Row number 3, Paul DeRutter in the 1D with 38 of Grayson Soper. Final row, it's Fox 28, Tyler Stevenson in the 11 of Dan Ferguson. Set for green, Caleb Howard looking to get another heat win here tonight, but he's got Taylor Dockstader to his hip pocket. We'll see how this works out. Green lights are back on and we're underway. Quickly to 1 and 2, side by side as Taylor Dockstader takes over the lead. Caleb Howard, Owen Nyer, your top 3 as the 52 Jessica Power and 28 of Tyler Stevenson. Working the top 5 spots early on as they click off lap number 1. This time by it is Taylor Dockstader in control. Owen Nyer has picked up the 2 spot from Caleb Howard. Jessica Power off of that win at Brockville on Saturday night, trying to get by for a 3rd. Tyler Stevenson's had enough of following people. He just wants to drive around everybody. He'll get around the 52 of Power and goes after the 90 of Caleb Howard into turn number 3 and 4. And Tyler Stevenson on the move, 2nd in points coming into tonight's racing program. Pulls off the pass. He'll get by the 90 of Caleb Howard down the front straightaway and look to go after the top 2 as they roll it into turn number 1 and 2 with Taylor Dockstader in control. Owen Nyer now 2nd, but Tyler Stevenson is the driver on the move. Got around both Caleb Howard and Jessica Power for 3rd. And right now, Jessica Power trying to find the way by Caleb Howard for the 4 spot. She will do just that as Paul DeRutter looks to make a move on Howard for the number 5 position, with Dan Ferguson in the 11 and Grayson Soper completing the field in position number 8. In the meantime, Taylor Dockstader has owned the race lead right from the drop of the green flag. The man out of Philadelphia, New York, bringing it across the line. Rick's Plumbing and Heating, number 960, has control of the field. Owen Nyer still holding that inside lane in second. Tyler Stevenson, he gets a really good run through the top portion of the racetrack in the 28. In turn 3 and 4, he elects to go down around the bottom of the racetrack. Jessica Power, she likes the inside portion of the racetrack here at Can-Am. Right now, just can't keep the car down there as they work it into turn number 1 and 2. Power, a little bit of an ill-handling race car right now, and I'm sure they'll be tweaking on that one come feature time. But in the meantime, field's starting to space themselves out. Taylor Dockstader is starting to put some distance between himself and the 17 of Owen Nyer as they come back down to the line with 2 laps left to go. It's Dockstader, Owen Nyer, 1 and 2. Tyler Stevenson working that extreme outside lane in the Fox 28 ride. And we got a problem with Grayson Soper in turn number 4. He is stopped to the exit of pit road over there in turn number 4. So yellow lights are back on with 6 laps complete. 2 more to go. The Soper Racing number 38 out of Harrisville, New York. So Taylor Dockstader elects to go from the bottom on the restart. White flag being displayed. We will go green next trip around. Six down, 2 more to go. First of 3 heats. The Bob Johnson Auto Group DIRTcar Sportsman. Eric Nyer and Gavin Isley have the most heat race wins this year with 2 each. Caleb Howard, Logan Brown, Justin Gadbaugh, Steve Roberts. Caleb Howard actually has 2. Owen Nyer, Brady Howard, Shane Pecor, Richard Murtaugh, Jessica Power each have a heat win this year. Set for green. Off of turn number 3 and 4. Dockstader sees it first, and we're underway. And Dockstader again. Going to pull it right to the inside lane. Owen Nyer right there in his tire tracks as he hit the back straightaway. Tyler Stevenson still third. Jessica Power trying to make a move on the outside lane from position number 4. Didn't quite work, so she'll settle in behind the 28 of Stevenson as they work it down to the line. White flag in the air for Taylor Dockstader. Owen Nyer putting the pressure on for the race lead, however, as they go to 1 and 2. But Dockstader able to get away by 2 car lengths as they work the back straightaway. Tyler Stevenson trying to move in as well. Down the back chute, final time into turn number 3 and 4. Checkered flag will be waving this time by. And first heat win of 2026 goes to Taylor Dockstader. Owen Nyer second, Tyler Stevenson third, Caleb Howard and Jessica Power the top 5. Dan Ferguson, Paul DeRutter, and Grayson Soper in that order. And that will do it. Heat race number 1 is complete for the Bob Johnson Auto Group DIRTcar Sportsman, and it is Taylor Dockstader.
960.
To victory lane, heat race number 2, ready to go next. Brady Howard in the 54 on the pole, the 621 of Trevor Gibbons. Row 2, it's Camden Cook in the 14 and the 9 of Logan Brown. Row 3, Steve Roberts, the 5R with the 2 of Greg Henry and Gavin Isley. Last week's winner and current point leader in car number 18. And Gage Howard in the 21 is actually supposed to be in heat race number 3. set to go. We got the lineup squared away. Again, if you were watching on our Facebook page, the On This Day in History, Gavin Isley looking to do what his dad did here in 1983 in a late model, and his grandfather in 83 and his dad in 1999 in the street stocks. That's been a feature. Not a lot of pressure at all. As he nervously laughed at me today. Green lights are on, 8 laps of distance, and we're underway. As the field works down into turn number 1 and 2, it is Brady Howard with a slight lead. Trevor Gibbons up to second. Camden Cook and the 9 of Logan Brown going at it for third and fourth. Gavin Isley has picked up 2 spots, now working for another one on Logan Brown as they work it across the line. Lap number 1 is in the record books, and we have got a battle for the race lead shaping up. Brady Howard on the bottom, Trevor Gibbons on the outside. Give the lead to Howard as they head down the back straightaway. Camden Cook up there, position number 3. Isley has moved from 7th to 4th as he gets around Logan Brown into turn number 3 and 4. Top 3 nose to tail as they work it across the line in lap number 2 of this 8-lap heat event. Second of 3 for the Bob Johnson Auto Group DIRTcar Sportsman, and Brady Howard looking to get back to victory lane. Trevor Gibbons, he got his first career feature win here last year, as right now Camden Cook under attack from Gavin Isley for position number 3. Isley diving down to the low lane, trying to find the way by Cook as they go to turn number 3 and 4, and Isley has the spot as they're working across the line at lap number 3. 3 down, 5 to go. Brady Howard, Trevor Gibbons, 1 and 2, but the man on the move is definitely Gavin Isley. He started back in position number 7 and is working on Trevor Gibbons now for the 2 spot. Behind them, Camden Cook and Logan Brown having it now for 4th and 5th, with Greg Henry and Stevie Roberts completing it up across the line. Lap number 4 goes on the leaderboard, and Brady Howard continues to show the way. But here comes Gavin Isley working that outside lane once again. See Trevor Gibbons right there to his inside. Camden Cook just behind him, and give the 2 spot to Isley down the back straightaway from 7th to 2nd in 4 laps. Gavin Isley is on the move, and he's got 1 more to get. Off of turn number 3 and 4 down to the line. We got 3 laps left to go for Brady Howard, but Isley is on the charge. He's got the momentum going in the 18, and now he is working on Brady Howard for the race lead. The lead gap down to about 2 car lengths as they hit the back straightaway to turn number 3. Trevor Gibbons still third, followed by the battle for 4th with Camden Cook and Logan Brown. But we've got a battle shaping up for the top spot. Brady Howard has it. Gavin Isley trying to take it away with 2 laps left to go. Quickly into 1 and 2. Here comes Isley on the hammer up on the outside portion of the racetrack. Isley and Howard are side by side for the race lead, and give the spot to Gavin Isley from 7th starting spot, last on the grid, alongside of Brady Howard, and to the lead. The white flag is in the air for Gavin Isley. Final time into turn number 1 and 2. Brady Howard, not much he can do about it. He'll settle into second as Isley pulls away down the back straightaway. Can Brady Howard do anything with the race leader? He'll try it in turn number 3 and 4. He's going to stick it to the bottom. Isley right there in the inside portion, drifts up to the wall off of turn number 4 from last to first. Gavin Isley to victory lane. Brady Howard second, Trevor Gibbons, Logan Brown, Camden Cook, Greg Henry, and Stevie Roberts in that order. What a run there for Gavin Isley. He started in position number 7 and rolled it all the way to victory lane for heat race number 2. Heat race number 3 for the Bob Johnson Auto Group DIRTcar Sportsman, rolling trackside next. Justin Gadbaugh will go away from the point. The 18G outside will be Keegan Dyer in the 34K. Row 2, Frank Sibley in the 92 with the 34 of Eric Nyer. Row number 3, it's Gage Howard, the 21 with the 33, Richard Murtaugh. Jonathan Murphy out of Carthage, New York, in car number 62. Cayden Graham out there in the 31. He's just taking a quick test lap out there. He had some problems in the Doneth Motorworks Limited Sportsman heat race earlier today. Third and final heat in the Bob Johnson Auto Group DIRTcar Sportsman. Sundance Leisure Thundercar heat will be up after this to finish up the heat racing portion of the program. Again, 50-50 tickets are going through the grandstands tonight. Of course, the money is on the line for the first ticket drawn, but there is a second prize available. That's 2 general admission tickets to next week's racing program right here on June the 12th. So even if you don't win the money, good chance to win yourself a pair of tickets to the races right here at Can-Am. Green lights back on. Third and final heat in the Bob Johnson Auto Group DIRTcar Sportsman. And are already 3 wide through turn number 1 and 2. Richard Murtaugh started at the back. He picked up 4th. He picked up 3rd. Now he's going to 2nd around Keegan Dyer. Richard Murtaugh with a big move. Started in position number 6 and is already up to the 2 spot. Frank Sibley trying to follow suit as they work the high lane off of turn number 4, but it's Justin Gadbaugh to the point as they click off lap number 1. Watch Richard Murtaugh in turn number 1 and 2. He got a great run on Keegan Dyer that last time. Pulls by once again to pick up 2nd. Working on Justin Gadbaugh for the race lead. Keegan Dyer back to 3rd. Frank Sibley and Eric Dyer. That's your top 5 as they work it across the line for lap number 2. Justin Gadbaugh with the lead, but Richard Murtaugh and Keegan Dyer are going to make him earn it as they head up into turn number 1 and 2. Gadbaugh continues to run that inside lane. Murtaugh and Dyer going at it for position number 2 and 3. Keegan surrenders the 2 spot to Murtaugh as they go to turn number 3 and 4. Keegan really good on the bottom side of the racetrack at this end of the speedway. We'll see if he has anything for the top 2 as they cross the line for lap number 3 of this 8-lap heat event. Justin Gadbaugh still continues to show the way, but I'll tell you what, Richard Murtaugh made some big moves early in this race to get to 2nd. Thought he was going to be able to run down Justin Gadbaugh and drive away, but he's not been able to get to the back bumper like everybody thought he was going to, as Gadbaugh putting up a fight for the race lead as they cross the line with lap number 4 on the leaderboard. 4 down, 4 more to go, and Justin Gadbaugh holding the steady wheel out there, but here comes Richard Murtaugh to the high lane as they'll drag race for the lead down the back straightaway. It's Gadbaugh against Murtaugh to turn number 3 and 4, and Richard Murtaugh will take the lead for a moment, and he has it coming off of turn number 4. Richard Murtaugh to the point as they work across the line for lap number 5. 5 down, 3 to go. Richard Murtaugh to the lead, and Murtaugh went from 6th to the lead as they hustle down the back straightaway. Justin Gadbaugh still there in spot number 2. The battle for 3rd raging on between Keegan Dyer and the 92 of Frank Sibley. New power plant under the hood of the 92 of Sibley tonight as they work it across the line in lap number 6 with 2 laps left to go. Murtaugh has checked out on the field. Battle is on from 2nd on back. Justin Gadbaugh has that runner-up spot off of turn number 2. Watch Keegan Dyer right there along with the 92 of Frank Sibley. They're still side by side for position number 3 and 4 as they work it across the line at lap number 7. White flag in the air for Richard Murtaugh. And this 3-car battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th is a good one. It's a dandy as the 34K of Keegan Dyer has it now. Justin Gadbaugh back to 3rd. Sibley still 4th. Eric Dyer is 5th. Checkered flag in the air. No contest up in front. Richard Murtaugh dominant in heat race number 3. 2nd at the line will be Keegan Dyer, and Justin Gadbaugh will get 3rd. Frank Sibley, Eric Dyer, Jonathan Murphy, and Gage Howard will complete it. So Taylor Dockstader, Gavin Isley, and Richard Murtaugh to victory lane in qualifying heat racing action for the Bob Johnson Auto Group DIRTcar Sportsman. One and only heat race tonight for the Sundance Leisure Thunder Cars as they roll trackside. It will be Colby Hibbert going away from the pole in the 428 along with the 19B of Colin Botter. Row 2, Kevin Greenfield, the 11A with the 22J of Jared Gilson. Row 3, last week's runner-up in the 3R, that's David Rasmussen. Alongside of him in the 22 of Tony Frezzo. Row number 4, celebrating a birthday today, that's Noah Williams in the 3W along with the 94 of OJ White. Final row, it is our point leader Jock Simons in the number 8X along with the 97 of Levi Kolstead. Set for green. 6 laps is the distance. Green lights are on and we are underway. As they work it up through 1 and 2, we are going to go back to caution. Yellow lights are back on. So complete restart. We will go back to how they were supposed to go off the initial green flag. So we're set for green. We'll try it again. As they bring it through turn number 3 and 4, green lights are on and we're underway. As it will be Kevin Greenfield jumping out into the race lead. Colin Botter, Tony Frezzo, the top 3. David Rasmussen up into position number 4, as behind them Jared Gilson battling with the 428 of Colby Hibbert for position number 5, and the 22 of Gilson moves it up into the top 5 as they work it down the front straightaway for lap number 1. Again, 6 laps is the distance, and Kevin Greenfield has been fast all season. The only other driver to pick up a feature win other than Jock Simons in this division, pulling away by 5 car lengths over Tony Frezzo, the defending track champion in the 22. He rolls it into second. Rasmussen still there for third, and look out behind them, Noah Williams in the 3 Ws around in turn number 4. The yellow lights are on with 2 laps complete. And we got a happy birthday wish to pass along. Actually, to the man who won Whitesboro Plow Shop DIRTcar 358 Modified Heat Race number 1 tonight, Billy Dunn. Birthday tomorrow, from what we understand. I don't know how old he's going to be, but I know it's close to my age. But happy birthday tomorrow to 7-time and defending track champion Billy Dunn. He'll be off to Fulton tomorrow to celebrate that. So we got the field sorted out here with 2 laps complete, 4 more to go. It's Kevin Greenfield, Tony Frezzo on the front row, Colin Bonner, David Rasmussen, row number 2, Jared Gilson, Jock Simons, row 3, OJ White and Colby Hibbert, row number 4, Levi Kolstead, the 97, Noah Williams complete the rest of your field. Set for green off of turn number 4, and we're underway. And again, Greenfield to the point is Tony Frezzo right there on the back bumper in second. Watch for Jock Simons, and the number 80 is right there with these 2 drivers as they hustle down the back straightaway to turn number 3 and 4. Behind them, Colin Botter still holding on to spot number 4 with David Rasmussen in the 5 spot. Down across the line, 3 down, 3 to go for Greenfield. Battle is on for a second. Jock Simons to that inside lane. Tony Frezzo right there with him. The points leader against the 2-time defending track champion. Colin Botter with a problem in turn number 1 and 2. That car went straight off of turn number 2. Not sure if there's a problem on the 19. Not sure if he's able to steer it or not. Looks like he's able to get it going and refired, so he will tag on to the tail end of the field with 3 laps complete. Again, if you have not got your 50-50 tickets tonight, please be sure to get those. Peyton, Haley, and Zoe working their way through the grandstands tonight. Along with the money, a consolation prize will be drawn tonight for 2 tickets for general admission to next week's racing program right here at Can-Am. With a full card starting at 7 o'clock. Green lights back on. Trying to finish out the final 3 laps of this DIRTcar heat race. And Kevin Greenfield trying to hold on and win it. But Jock Simons has done a lot of winning here this season, and he's trying to get one more as he goes to the high lane. He'll get around Kevin Greenfield down the back chute. In the meantime, Tony Frezzo trying to fend off the 3 of David Rasmussen. and the 94 of OJ White. OJ looking sporty here in the closing laps of this one as they're working across the line with 2 laps left to go. It's Simons and Greenfield 1 and 2 as they go into turn number 1 and 2. Jock Simons, Kevin Greenfield 1 and 2. Tony Frezzo, David Rasmussen, and OJ White the top 5 as they work it down the back straightaway. Jarrett Gilson into the mix as well. He rides back there 6th. Noah Williams is 7th. Colin Boddard, Colby Hibbard, and Levi Kolstead in the 97, completing it. White flag in the air for Jock Simons. Kevin Greenfield, Tony Frezzo, the top 3 as they work it through turn number 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. Greenfield still second, trying to pull up to the back bumper of Simons, but he's running out of laps and running out of time. Checkered flag will be in the air this time by, and Jock Simons, the points leader, will win it handily in heat race number 1 of 1 for the Sundance Leisure Thunder Cars. Kevin Greenfield, Tony Frezzo, David Rasmussen, Jared Gilson up for a top 5 finish at the checkered flag. OJ White, Noah Williams, Colin Botter, 428 Colby Hibbard, and Levi